Hi, welcome to Gotta Ping, a careers podcast you should listen to if you want to grow your career online and offline. Hi, my name is Mei Ping, and I'm a professional career coach and international speaker with more than a decade of experience at some of the biggest companies in the world. To learn more about what I do, visit meiping.com. That's meiping.com. Alright, let's jump right into today's episode. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of my Gotta Ping podcast, a podcast that you should listen to if you are very serious about your corporate career. So today I want to talk about a very interesting topic, and that is around how to utilize LinkedIn to advance your career. So I have been on LinkedIn for a really long time, since 2012, and that's 9 years ago. And one of the questions I get asked a lot is, how did you find career opportunities on LinkedIn? Because I have been on the platform for so long, but I'm hearing about all these people getting job opportunities, but I have never been able to get any of those myself. So if those are some of the questions that you have been asking yourself for a long time, then this episode is definitely going to be something that is really helpful for you. Okay, so before I actually go into like the right strategies and so forth, let me first tackle what is the biggest issue that you are doing on LinkedIn that is actually stopping you from connecting with the right career opportunities for you to advance in your corporate career. And the biggest mistake is this: you are treating LinkedIn as a social media platform, right? So I want you to ask yourself right now, are you treating LinkedIn as a professional networking platform, or you are treating LinkedIn as a social media platform? So now, the difference might sound a little bit gray. It might not be very obvious to you, but actually it is something that is extremely obvious, because if you have decided to treat LinkedIn as a professional platform, what that means is that you are building your professional reputation on LinkedIn. So this is going to be quite different from how you would normally engage and present yourself if you were just on any other social media platform, right? For example, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, which are more the trend, I guess, the more popular social media platforms. So first things first, you need to really ask yourself, are you treating LinkedIn as a professional platform for you to grow your career, or you are treating LinkedIn as an entertainment platform where you get entertained on a daily basis depending on the content that you consume? So this is a really important element for you to get clear before we talk about any strategies, in terms of like getting job opportunities and so forth. All right, so now let me share with you basically, there are three methods on how you can get career opportunities and job opportunities on LinkedIn. So depends on where you are in your career. If you're an active job seeker, obviously you want to be able to find a job effectively on LinkedIn so that you will be invited for interviews and make a good impression, and to be seen as a really strong professional and can add value, so getting people interested in your profile. But if you are somebody who is just looking for career advancement, just future opportunities, you also want to make sure that you are getting the right visibility, so that when the opportunity arises, you are there to be found, and the opportunity will probably come to you first because you have been visible and you are also discoverable. So now, there are basically three ways to get the job on LinkedIn, and these are the three ways that I have personally used myself, and it has also helped me advance in my corporate career with various opportunities. So the first method is this. The first method is you need to learn how to utilize the LinkedIn Jobs functionality. So if you notice, LinkedIn does have a Jobs functionality right on top of the bar, and the job functionality actually is a really popular one that a lot of companies are starting to use to advertise available roles in their company. And if you are consistently checking out the LinkedIn's job functionality, what it will be really helpful for you to be to get the first first notification on available positions. So that's always really helpful. But one pro tip for you here is that aside from just actively searching on the LinkedIn jobs functionality, you want to make sure that you build a very strong LinkedIn profile that is complete and also covers all your background skills and experiences. So why is this important? It is because there is something called the LinkedIn algorithm. So aside from just randomly searching on the LinkedIn jobs functionality, you need to be able to build a strong profile so that at the back end, LinkedIn's algorithm is actually able to recommend the right jobs for you that best matches your skills and experiences. So what that means is that you will likely get the interview. You will increase your chances to get an interview because you do have a good match for the role. So this is the exact method that I have used to land the role with Visa, which is one of the biggest global payment companies in the world. So it was a role that was recommended to me based on my LinkedIn profile. And of course, I was on the platform, I came across it and I quickly applied and I got the interview call in just less than 3 days. So that's something that you could also do for yourself. And it all starts by making sure that you have a really strong LinkedIn profile. So method number 2 is this. Method number 2 is actually attracting recruiters and headhunters to be, I guess, attracted and to be interested in your LinkedIn profile that, presents you as a really strong professional with a lot of contribution and a lot of value to contribute to the next company. So the most important question is then how do you attract these recruiters and these headhunters? Because one of the complaints I hear from a lot of my connections on LinkedIn is that they spend so much time on the platform, but they are not getting the right eyeballs. They feel like they are not getting the attention from recruiters and HR. And the main problem is this. Again, it actually goes back to their LinkedIn profile. These people spend so much time interacting on the platform, right? But guess what? They forgot to update their LinkedIn profile, and their profile is just really poor, lack of information, not updated correctly. They are not using the right LinkedIn settings to be discoverable. So one of the quotes that I like to tell all my clients is make sure that you clean your house first before you go around inviting your neighbors to visit. So it's the same thing, right? If your LinkedIn profile is basically like your home, your house, and it's really messy, why would you go around networking to bring in more attention to your messy house? I don't think that's a good idea because the first impression that you are creating is actually a really negative one. So just something to really take note of before you go out networking, please make sure that you work on your LinkedIn profile first because that is really the most important thing. Aside from that, of course, if you want to get the right eyeballs from recruiters, headhunters, and HR, you need to make sure that you have the right visibility settings set up. So that's actually something that I go through in a lot more detail in my Power Your Job Search Strategy LinkedIn modules, where I go through step by step on how to build that strong LinkedIn profile, how to use the right settings, right? How to use all the right functionalities, right? So that's something else I cover in more detail in my training. But the quick tip for you here is to make sure that you are actually getting the settings right, because there are actually 2 parts to it, right? The profile itself and then the settings to make sure that you are discoverable, because you can have a really good profile, but if your settings are done incorrectly, that means that nobody will, your profile will not pop up in the right way. So that actually defeats a lot of the defeats the entire purpose of updating the profile in the first place. So this is actually a really, really good strategy. And personally, I've used this for many, many years. And through this, I was headhunted by Standard Chartered. I also received messages from recruiters for Alipay, PayPal, Bank of New York Mellon, central banks, right? A lot of other banks, which is during my my days in the corporate world. And nowadays, when I teach my clients this step by step as well, and also quite a number of my clients also managed to get headhunted, right, to interview at Google, LinkedIn, British American Tobacco, Deloitte, PwC, so many other companies, just because they know what they're doing on LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, actually, it's really important to know what you are doing. Otherwise, you may spend a lot of time on the platform and actually get 0 results. Now, the third method on LinkedIn actually is actually getting job referrals from your connections. So your connections is one of the most important elements of your LinkedIn profile, and how I have managed to utilize that is to make sure that I am connected to a lot of my ex-colleagues. So I can share a very quick story here. I was actually invited to interview at Google quite a number of years ago. And how I got that opportunity actually was one of the ex-bosses that I worked with. She was working with me at Visa, and later on she actually moved on to Google. So when Google Singapore, the Google Asia Pacific, was established in Singapore, she basically gave my name to one of her regional leads, asking him to reach out to me to have a chat on whether I was interested in the role. And that was how I was invited to interview at Google. So these are just some of the opportunities that may be available if you're actually using the right LinkedIn strategy. So personally, all three methods have worked really, really well for me, and I'm very sure it will work really well for you. Again, if you know what you are doing on LinkedIn, it can be an extremely powerful platform to connect you with more job opportunities and help you in your career growth. However, if you're using the wrong strategy, that means that you can spend a lot of time getting zero results. So I will end this podcast episode today by actually asking you again the question I asked at the beginning of this episode, which is, what are you actually hoping to get out of LinkedIn? And are you approaching LinkedIn as a platform in the right way and with the right intention? So with that, I'll leave you guys and I'll see you in the next episode. Cheers. Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode. For more awesome content like this, remember to like and subscribe. Also, head on over to my website, meiping.com, that's meiping.com, and subscribe to my weekly newsletter for more career growth and personal development tips. You can find the links in the description box below. Once again, you're listening to Gotta Ping, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!